Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or not on a very expensive high-end foundation. This is the Hourglass Immaculate foundation. So I'm going to be testing this foundation out. This is in the color tan, and you get 1 ounce, which is like the standard size. Typically it's great. And then it says this is paraben-free, oil-free, fragrance-free, which is amazing for me, non-particle free, gluten-free, and it's vegan. So if you are vegan and you're looking for a really good foundation, then we're going to find out if this is the one for you. And then it also says that there's research results that based on a 4-week consumer study of 30 women with oily acne-prone skin, 100% reported an improvement in overall skin appearance and skin smoothness. 83% reported a decrease in oil productions and the need to touch-ups. So that's another thing that I was reading. It also claims to say that this is a formula that absorbs your oils, camouflages your imperfections, and delivers a long-wearing finish without you having to retouch your foundation. Now, I don't typically retouch my foundation. I'm just like, okay, primer, then foundation, and let's pray that we'll make it to the finish line, because I don't have time to be retouching during the day. I don't think a lot of us do. I mean, we can put some powder on, but it's not like I'm going to be carrying this foundation with me and I'll be like, oh, I need to retouch this. Like, no, I don't have time for that. So I think I already mentioned it. This is in the color tan, and it comes in a very nice bottle. So it comes like this, and I think you just put in the, I don't even know what's happening right here. I think you just put this in. Hopefully I'm doing this correct. And then it goes like that. Okay, I don't even know. Is this supposed to be a pump? There we go. Damn. I don't know why it just doesn't come already with the pump instead of having this little thing. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm just going to be moisturizing my skin. So for moisturizer, you guys know the drill. I'm going to be using the First Aid Beauty moisturizer, and I love this stuff. And it's crazy because they literally just came out with like a moisturizer primer, and it has coconut in it, and you know I'm about to grab that because I'm all about that First Aid Beauty life. So I can't wait to try that primer out. I really wish they would come out with a foundation because I would be the first one to review it. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly also go in with my sugar moisturizer. This is in the tint Honey. So it kind of gives me a little bit of color. I always like to go in with a moisturizer before I start my makeup, just because it keeps my lips moisturized, especially in the winter. I need that extra moisture on my lips, but not only that, it helps the makeup stay away from my lips. So first things first, we're going to go ahead with this little guy. This is the primer, and I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. Looks very similar to the Angel Veil. Same color, same consistency almost, except this one does have like a blue tint to it once you like kind of like rub it into your hands. So we'll see. And I think that also may be because this one has sunscreen in it. Doesn't feel like too oily. And now we're gonna go in with the foundation. I'm just gonna go ahead and pump some out. Any day now. There we go, I feel it. Whoosh. It definitely doesn't feel thick like a lot of mattifying foundations. It's not too liquidy, but not too thick, like just right in between. So it actually covered this redness right away. You can see kind of the difference. You can see my redness right here, and then it's a little bit more calm on this side. The coverage is also really nice. It's not something that is like way too overboard. I think it's like a nice happy medium. The primer and the foundation are working well together. I've noticed that sometimes with certain primers and certain foundations, you start to see it be a hot mess as you're applying it, but it's literally applying really nice, which I'm impressed with. I feel like this shade is good for the winter right now, but I feel like if I were to get a little bit tan or even in the summer, this would be a little too light. So definitely keep that in mind if you're trying to figure out if this would be your color and you're around my skin tone. So now I'm going to do the other side. So I'm going to be taking my F80 Kabuki, and I'm just going to be pumping some out. And then I'm just going to dot it Yeah, like I said, the consistency of this foundation feels super light. It doesn't feel heavy, but as you can see right here, it covers real quick. This may be a little bit better than my Kat Von D foundation. I love my Kat Von D foundation to death because it gives me such amazing full coverage, but this gives me really full coverage, but it feels so lightweight. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing makeup. Like, it just feels like it's my skin, and I'm all about that life. So I feel like the brush covered more on this side than the sponge covered on this side. Here in person, I can see that there's like some areas where I can still see my rosacea. So I would have to say that they both look nice, but I would go with the brush. I feel like it covers more, especially if you're in a hurry. You'll be able to just like buff it out and you're good to go. With the sponge, I feel like you need to do a little bit more work to get that coverage up to par. That is the foundation all on my face, and I'm gonna just go in closer to the mirror and just tell you guys what I think based on like what I'm seeing up close. So it's not clinging onto the skin at all, which I am super impressed with because I was kind of expecting it to do that. Here where I am noticing a little bit of clinging onto my skin is like my nose and my, like near my eyebrows is where like I feel like there's always like a little bit of excess product. But I feel like because these areas right here tend to get oily throughout the day, I think it's just gonna like sink into my skin and look fine. So I think that will be okay throughout the day. But it does look pretty natural. I am liking how it looks. It definitely does look like I'm wearing a powder. It doesn't look like I'm wearing like a foundation. So that's another good thing. The coverage is great. I feel like with 2 layers, if you're using the sponge and you like a more full coverage foundation, with 2 layers you'll be good. I feel like if you're using the brush with 1 layer, you will be good to go. You won't have to worry about any type of retouches or anything like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and do the rest of my face, and then I'm going to come back right after I'm done, let you guys know how it works with the rest of my products, and then we can start our day and figure out whether this pricey Hourglass foundation is worth the buy or not. Okay guys, so I am back. I have finished my entire face of makeup and I'm feeling pretty good. I have nice clean hair, nice makeup on, and right now it is around 12:15 in the afternoon. So I've worn this foundation, I want to say, for almost an hour, and I did my face and everything, and I feel like the products went on really well. The only thing that I did notice is that right around my nose, like the little edges of it, the product is really clinging onto it. But everything else looks really nice. I feel like now the foundation's starting to like set into my skin and look a little bit more skin-like. I feel like when I first showed you guys the finished product of the foundation, it definitely did look like it was powdered, like my skin looked very powdered. It looked natural, don't get me wrong, like it looked like a natural, nice full coverage powder, but I feel like now it's starting to look more skin-like, like it's just my skin, like I'm using a tinted moisturizer, but yet it gives me that really amazing coverage. So I'm super impressed. I really like the way that it looks. I'm going to be taking a flash picture and just kind of showing you guys how it looks with the foundation and seeing if it gives me bad flashback, which I hope it doesn't, because I mean, the only reason it would, maybe because the sunscreen on the primer, but I don't know, we shall see. There we go. Oh wow, so the flash didn't do anything. The foundation still looks great. Like there's no like whiteness. It looks good. It looks really good. So I'm gonna include this picture so you guys can see it. It definitely did a good job. I'm actually really impressed. I was thinking that it was gonna give me some really bad flashback, but it really didn't. So I would say that's a good look, and you guys will see the picture right here, just so you guys can get an idea of what it looks like. So I would definitely suggest wearing this like to an event. You wouldn't have any issues with like flashback or anything. It'll be good to go. Now what we had to do is just test out and see if this is really worth those $60 and see if this is really going to keep us oil-free all day long and speak true to what it claims. So I'm back. It is now around 11:30 at night. It's been a very long day. Today was actually extremely busy, so I'm extremely pooped. I can't wait to take off this makeup and get in bed. I already actually took off my lashes because I just could not handle it any longer. Just way too much. But anyways, so over overall, this foundation stayed pretty matte throughout the day. I do feel like now at 10 p.m. it's extremely oily in this area. It's not as oily right here where it usually is a little bit more oily, so I'm kind of impressed with that aspect of it. My nose isn't that shiny. It is kind of shiny at the tip, but that's because I applied highlight there. So, I mean, it makes sense as to why it would look a little bit shinier. But then right here, it's extremely oily. Like, you guys can definitely see. I feel like when it comes to holding me matte all day long, the Kat Von D is like my go-to. Like, I just feel like I have no worries with that. If I want to look really nice and matte, that's going to be the one for me. I feel like this one did keep me matte, but right here, I'm noticing that it's extremely oily. Like, I can just go like that and just wipe off like a good amount of oils. But then again, if if you can bear it, then you can just for sure just go back in with a sponge and kind of just blot it out so it's not too bad. But I think overall it's a pretty solid foundation. I would definitely recommend it if you're on the hunt for a new foundation and you tried the Kat Von D, you really don't like how full coverage and like cakey look it can get sometimes, then I would feel like this probably will be more of a foundation for you. Also, another one that I want to compare to real quick is the Urban Decay. I feel like the Urban Decay does a better job of keeping you matte longer than this one, but I feel like the Urban Decay is a little bit defective because it does oxidize a lot, and I feel like it can look a little cakey. And I feel like what takes the cake with this foundation is that it doesn't look cakey. Like, yes, I was oily in this area a lot, but it looks very nice and clean on the face. It doesn't look like you're wearing so much product, and I feel like that's something that I feel like is very important to a lot of people. Just by it being a little bit more full coverage and not cakey looking, just automatically is a plus in my book. I do feel like by the very end of the day, if I'm wearing this out, like if I'm gonna be going out all night, I would definitely want to make sure I blot it a little bit in this area because that was just way too oily for my taste. For the primer, I feel like the primer is nice, but I feel like the Angel Veil is better. Like, I really love how it kind of also smooths my skin out. I feel like this just feels nice with the foundation. It made the foundation go on really well, but I do feel like the Angel Veil by NYX is so much better and so much more affordable. You get more product than this little guy. Actually, let's look real quick. 0.3 ounces, and the Angel Veil has 1.02. So you definitely get more product with this. This is more expensive than this. I just feel like the consistency, texture, and the way that it feels on the skin is just so much better with the Angel Veil. So I would say don't waste your money on this, but I would definitely say give this one a try if you're eyeing this. So those are my final thoughts on the Hourglass Immaculate Foundation. And if you guys have any suggestions on other foundations you guys want to see review on, then please let me know, and I will totally do it for you guys because I love doing foundation reviews. I love trying out new skin products. That's like my favorite part of makeup, is like the actual skin finish. If you guys have tried this foundation and want to give me your thoughts and what you guys think about it, I would also really appreciate that. And if you enjoyed watching this video, then please thumbs it up because that lets me know that you guys enjoyed watching these worth the buy or not videos. And if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. I hope that you guys stay for the ride and become a member of our family here on YouTube because we love interacting about all things beauty, and I feel like it'll be such fun to have you join us. So I'll be seeing you guys very soon for a brand new video. Bye, guys.